Hey everyone, welcome back to another Toy Soldier review. Today we're going to be looking at the World War II Russian infantry set, originally by Toy Soldiers of San Diego. It's set number 5. This is now owned and sold by MicShaun's Closet, so if you want these, you can go over to their website. It's MicShaun'sCloset.com, and they usually have a good number of stuff in stock. This says, warning, choking hazard, small parts not for children under 6 years old. They come in bags. I ripped the bag off. I've had this open for a while, but a subscriber asked that I review it, so I figured I'd do that. The back says they have many different sets available and lists a number of the various ranges. They also give you a quick tip for straightening the weapons or other parts by dipping them in hot water and strengthening them by dipping them again in cold water, so once you get them straightened out. This set was from my local hobby shop. It was $26.99. It's 16 figures. There's 8 poses, so what you'll see is you get 2 of each. This is where they're located. This is their website, MicShaun'sCloset.com. This was produced in 2021. There's a little bit of a warning label here. It's pretty simple. It's a bag of army men. So I've already painted one of the female soldiers, which I'll show you in a second, and she painted up really beautifully. These do paint up really wonderfully if that's something that you're interested in doing. And we'll take a look at all of the unpainted figures more closely in just a second. Hey guys, James Viola here. Just wanted to quickly say thank you again for watching the video. If you haven't already, please like the video. It really helps give more reach to the channel. And if you want to see more review videos, let me know in the comments what you want to see next. I'll do my best to get them out as fast as possible. Thanks so much. Consider subscribing and show this to your dad. Quickly give you my impressions of these. Is Toy Soldiers of San Diego it's like the brand that got me really excited about painting army men. Like, I'd started doing a little bit on the channel, but as I started to do more research on what newer type sculpts were out there, because I had been out of the toy game for a while, I came across these guys in a local hobby shop. Not this set specifically, but other figures. I think I started with the U.S. Army guys. So these really stood out to me because they were more detailed in sculpt. The price has come up considerably since I started painting army men in the past 5 years with inflation and everything. But they really stood out to me for their size, their detail, and the affordability. I mean, now they're a little bit more expensive. You still get 16 for 30, which is better than, model kits and things like that, most model kits. And that was coming from a world where I was painting a lot of Games Workshop models, which are notoriously the most expensive on the market. So quality really struck me as excellent. And then I've slowly been picking up everything kind of one set at a time until I have everything. And I've been painting a lot of US soldiers and German soldiers. I painted the long coats first. That's what it was. That's what got me into it. I couldn't remember the German long coats. I've since sold all my German long coats, but I do want to pick them up and paint some more. And I do want to finish painting these guys and sell them as well. So they're a little quirky. You'll get some bends in the plastic here and there. You can strengthen them with hot water. I find that indirect heat with a flame does a good job of straightening them out the best and then dipping that in cold water. Hot water will sometimes have them revert back to the shape that they were like, if they were disfigured, they would sometimes go back to that. Even overcompensating would be a bit of a problem. So I find indirect heat from a flame is the best, but you do have to be very careful. I would not recommend children do this unsupervised and follow all warning labels, of course. We'll go through, I'll kind of show you right away, like we'll go top to left here. Let me move these out of the way. Many people have commented on my painted tutorial that I did a short on, asking if this is a specific person, and I really don't know. I'm sorry, I'm not an expert in World War II history. I started painting these figures because I just love to paint and I love the era, and I am learning, but I can't confidently say whether or not this is supposed to be a historical figure. This particular figure is one of the only females in the range of MicShaun's Closet army men that I've seen, and she is really beautifully sculpted. There's a little bit of mold and seam line present in her hair, but it's really not hard to clean up. I'll show you my painted version. So I did post a short of me painting her on the channel, and I'll link that in the description. She painted up really, really beautifully. I used all Vallejo paints, and you can kind of see her barrel is still a little wonky, even though I did apply indirect heat compared to the other one. Like, it was part of the video was showing how I would straighten these, but it still is reverting back to that very curved shape. It was really bad, and I even go back and bend it every once in a while to try to train it back, but that's sort of damaging the paint a little bit by stretching the plastic material. So they do paint up beautifully. They are a little quirky. If you get one that has a really wonky base, so there's a couple, I have an example here. There's this one. I have two of these, and this one has a straighter base. than this. So when they stand up, they can be like a little bit uneven, and they will bounce around. And I've had a few of the German soldiers with exceptionally bad bases, and they are much harder to resculpt with hot water than you think, especially than what you'd be led to believe from the packaging instructions. But that's not always the case. And, out of 16 figures, one of them with a bit of a wonky base is perfectly acceptable to me, I think. And you can like zhuzh it and even break the, cut them off the base if it's really a problem. But that's sort of the nature of the plastic in general. So she's really great. That's why I started with her. She was a unique figure for me. I hadn't painted a female soldier in a while. I've actually only painted one other one on the channel, so definitely have more to do. I have a whole set of US, I think it's just Army women. It might be US themed. I have to double check the package. It's been a while since I've looked at it. So she's really cool. You can paint the detail as nice as you want. The way they paint them on the package, I think I improved upon it a little bit. I definitely could have spent more time on it, but I spent about half an hour just getting the face to look good, the complexion, like getting those blends right. And then the rest of I probably spent another 45 minutes painting the rest of the figure. The way they paint them on this isn't necessarily bad. It's just a bit thicker than I would choose to use. And the paints are a bit glossier. I like to use the Viejo because they're very matte as a finish. And I don't like to go crazy with painting details on like gun barrels and things like that. I like to just have them look good at arm's length and on the tabletop, and they do look really nice. I actually painted some extra hair on her to kind of look like she's a little bit disheveled, or maybe the wind's blowing her hair a little bit, so it's just like painted right on her skin. Again, like I said, really, really loved painting her. My next, right now I'm painting British infantry, but once I'm done this, I was thinking about going back and finishing up these guys. So it comes with several standing and firing poses, 4 in total if you count the duplicates. So there's 2 of this guy as well, wearing his winter hat. He looks really great. He's got a big old schnoz. He'd be fun to paint. Good detail in him. They have these recessed slit eyes, so you don't necessarily need to paint the details in the eyes. You can just leave them black and they look pretty strong. A very simple design and sculpt. I really like the simplicity of the uniform. You can add grime and texture and mud to really make them look like more weathered, which is really fun. So he's really cool. I love his long coat. There's another guy throwing a Molotov cocktail, which I think is awesome. Don't really see that in sculpts often. I know Mars has a Ukrainian set of soldiers that one of them is throwing a Molotov cocktail. He's got like a bandana over his face. But this is pretty fun. He's got his little LMG here. He's wearing a helmet. It's got a couple little bumps on it. I'm not sure what the purpose of these are. They look like they're on purpose, though. That's really nice. There's another one who's running. He's got a MP4, I forget what this one is, but they have different textures, different coats, right? So they all kind of have different styles of uniforms. So if we compare these 3 together, there's the long coat, there's this quilted jacket and pants with high boots, and then there's this guy who's wearing a quilted jacket and quilted pants, and the blanket over his, I don't know what this is. I've seen this a lot in pictures, and I have not found out what it is. Tell me in the comments, what is this around their torsos? I've seen a lot of soldiers sculpted with this. It looks to be something to keep them warm. Maybe it's like a makeshift tent or something, or a blanket for extra warmth. But someone with more knowledge, please let me know in the comments. Comparing these two, again, he has the helmet. He's got a bit more ammunition pouches than some of the other figures on his belt. This guy is carrying some extra pouches as well, and he's also got the warm hat and an LMG, so little differentiations in there. This guy on the ground, he's similar to this guy in terms of like what he's wearing, but he's got a rifle instead of a machine gun. This looks like he's got the same ammo pouches, which is cool, and he's also got a slightly different hat. It looks like his hat is smoother on the sides, where this is, well, actually he's got the flaps pulled down around his ears for warmth, while this guy has them up over his head. So that's a cool little detail variation. I like that a lot. He's also on his knee. Looks like maybe he was wounded. He's got what looks like a bandage there. Like maybe he's applying pressure to a wound to his thigh. It's an interesting detail. The German set also has a wounded warrior as well. He's getting shot. It looks like he's being shot from behind. There's another guy. Looks like he's crouched down behind some cover. Again, wearing a long coat and a metal helmet. Looks awesome. He's got a great expression on his face. However you say get some in Russian. And then another similar squatted figure. He's actually taking aim. He's got a bit more of a serious, locked in look on his face, which is nice. quilted jacket, pants. He looks warm, but he also looks cold. No extra ammo on his belt, but he does have the satchel swung around his shoulders and an MG. His fingers look a little wonky, but nothing too crazy. So I do think these will all paint up really nicely, just as nicely as this female did. She was a lot of fun. I painted her with different colors of khaki and light browns and cavalry brown by VAO. And it really wasn't much more complicated than that, because the uniforms of the Russian, or of the Soviet army during World War II were very simple, and they didn't carry a ton on them. So yeah, that's it. There's 16 of them. Like I said, here's all of them together. We'll do some round table footage of them all, and you can check them all out for yourself. I'll put a link to MicShaun's closet in the description, so you can check out their full line of 54 millimeter soldiers originally by Toy Soldiers of San Diego. And, let me know in the comments what you think. What did I get wrong? What are the names of these parts on them? What is that blanket around their shoulder? I'd love to know. I love learning from you guys. It's a lot of fun. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Pew, 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 pew.